G'day shaggers, welcome back to the channel. Ruckus here with a quick Tall Talk episode today. I've got a few things to discuss like Tankenstein and just general happenings around the channel and in game at the moment. So let's get straight into it, starting with Tankenstein. I have not yet discussed much about this yet and people are asking what my thoughts are on it. The event, as you are probably all aware, is a straight XP grind in stages. With the XP required to complete each stage getting progressively more and more. I worked out the numbers for my own average XP, which is just over 1,000. It's 613 games to complete the event in the 2 weeks we've been given, which is over 30 games per day, with an average game time of mine being 3 minutes and 36 seconds, pulling these stats off Blitz./.com. That's 2 hours of game time per day constantly to complete Tankenstein and get the reward. And that's best case scenario as well. I don't know how they expect anyone with a standard account and say 500 average XP per game to complete this event. But of course you can just cheat and spend the gold and get the tank that way. But before I go into my own personal thoughts on all of this, let's have a look at Tankenstein in a bit of detail, check out the stats and just see whether this thing is actually worth the effort in the first place. So here we go, here is the Ruckus stat board for Tankenstein. The numbers we are interested in are Tankenstein's stats on the left compared against the average to give us a negative or positive performance. So we start with hit points. 1350 is pretty much bang on average for tier 7 heavies. View range 230 is poor, very poor, the worst, on par with Pz.III. Fire chance 20%, not great either. Now the hull is based on the Tiger P, which means you've got 200mm of frontal armor, which sounds great, but it's a good news, bad news story. I'm not going to go into it here, but if I ever finish that bloody Tiger P tank review, we'll see why that is a good and a bad thing. The turret is based on the KV4, although it's not as well armored. The KV4 has 180mm up the front and 150 down the sides of the turret. 150 frontal and 120 especially on the sides is very good, and with angling this turret should still be not as good as the T29 obviously, but up there with the best for turrets at this tier. Now we move to maneuverability, and this is definitely a sore point for this tank. Heaviest in the tier, 67 tons and only 550 horsepower on the engine, which means the powder weight is by far the most pathetic of this tier. 8.2 is negative 31% worse than the average for the tier 7 heavies. This thing will barely ever see its 35 km/h top speed, and the maneuverability, the traverse and turret traverse as well are also not great. 16 degrees turret traverse is very bad. But anyway, moving on to the gun selection on Tankenstein. It's got 2 different guns, as you probably are all aware by now. One is off the T29 and the other is off the tier 6 tank destroyer, the Su-100Y. So let's check out the T29's gun first. It's the 105mm T5E1. All the same stats as the T29, except for a slight reduction in rate of fire, 4.88 rounds per minute as opposed to 5, which obviously leads to a fairly poor DPM. In fact, it's the worst DPM of the tier, 1500 DPM. The AP, gold, HE stats all the same as the T29's, dispersion the same, aim time is slightly better, but the biggest point though for this gun is the depression, which is the key strength of the T29. It has negative 10 degrees depression, and there's no stat for this, but what I have done is we move here to a Photoshop file. I've lined up these 2 tanks, T29 and the Tankenstein, and from what I can see it looks like it has almost probably the same negative 10 degrees depression. I can't quite tell here, my pitch is a bit dicey and I didn't line up the images properly, but that's between 8 and 10 degrees depression. Elevation the same, 15 degrees. The Su-100Y gun, 130mm B13 S2 naval cannon, has much the same stats as the tier 6 gun, though the rate of fire is again worse. It's 0.4 rounds per minute worse than the Su-100Ys, and the dispersion is also much worse. The Tankenstein gets 0.45 meters per 100 meters at tier 7, and the Su-100Y only gets 0.38. So a far less accurate gun on the Tankenstein than an already fairly inaccurate gun on the SU-100Y. So is it a strong tank? In certain situations it might be. The armor is okay, the gun selection is good, and if you've got the T29 gun, then you do have the gun depression. But that mobility is just awful, just awful. 8.2 horsepower per ton means you are going to struggle your way around the map, like maybe not as bad as some of the big tank destroyers at tier 9 and 10, but you are not going to be where the action is most of the time. You are going to be trailing along behind. So it's not a tank that would suit my playstyle, that's for sure. I'm sure I would get frustrated with this machine, but it's got a unique look if you're into that kind of thing, and if you are a collector, then perhaps you're interested in it. So what's the price then? Well, 630,000 XP, obviously, we discussed that. And is that achievable? I don't think it is, unless you play Blitz 4 hours a day. I don't think many people are going to unlock the tank this way. Maybe though you'll get half the way through, or even just over a third of the way through. Well, the last two stages, 6 and 7, have almost 2/3 of the total XP required. So to skip those two stages together, that's 6,000 gold. And I don't have the figures for all the tier 7 premium tanks in front of me, but that is probably about 1,000 gold more than the average for tier 7 premium tanks. I'm looking at the AT-15A right now, that's 5,100 gold. What else have I got? The Panther M10, 4,750 gold. These are tanks that I think will be stronger than the Tankenstein, and yet they are a lot cheaper, and you're not having to grind through 250,000 or so XP just to get to that stage. Don't dump 10,000 gold on this thing. Whatever you do, you will regret it. That is a huge waste of money. This whole event, I think, is Wargaming's most blatant money-making scam they've ever, in any game of theirs I've seen and played. This whole event is just a complete joke to me. I'm a bit of a cynic for this one. I'm not taking part. I was trying to grind out the required 30,000 or so XP per day up until yesterday, and I just got the shits with it and gave it away. This will not be a tank for me. Does that mean you shouldn't try and get it? No, obviously not. This is just my opinion, and do whatever you feel like doing for Tankenstein, or prove me wrong and unlock it with the free XP. And also, if I've made any mistakes in this, or I've got bits of it wrong, feel free to comment in the comments section of this video, and I'll add up annotations to correct any of my mistakes. I do often make them. So that audio there was recorded on Tuesday, and it's now Friday. I did tell you I procrastinate on my audio, right? I paused there and ducked into the city to pick up my new iPhone 6s Plus. Yay me. Grabbed a burrito whilst I was in town, and then by the time I'd had that, gone to the gym and come home, I had come down with food poisoning, and that wrote off my next 2 days. Hey, it was the worst feeling. Tuesday night, I thought I was going to die. No one here to look after me too, because Yvonne's gone to London. It's just a lonely man whimpering in his bed. And I thought I'd be able to get heaps of work done on Wednesday by taking a sickie, but sick days are only fun when you're not actually sick. I got nothing done at all. Hey, it was pathetic. But I'm back now, starting to feel better, ready to finish off this video. I did intend to have some Tankenstein footage, like me playing against bots running in the background of this audio, but Wargaming have changed the dev build, and Tankenstein is no longer in the garage of the new build. That does mean content is coming for you guys, but it means no Tankenstein footage for this video, unfortunately. I just wanted to clarify some of the points I made earlier, because I was pretty negative about the whole Tankenstein event, and I've got my reasons. Just wanted to make sure I was clear on what they were. One is that it just is having an identity crisis. It doesn't know what it is. It's not a gift tank if you have to earn it, and it's not a reward tank if you can just buy it. Is it a premium tank? Well, I don't even know if it gets a premium tank credit earning coefficient. So if it does, then yeah, I guess you can say you're buying or earning a tank that has a particular use. But if it doesn't, well, it's just a collector's item, and that's okay. But Wargaming completely lost me with their sales pitch on this one. It's almost like they've marketed like the 99 cents trick, where you instead of charging $1 for something, you charge 99 cents so people think they're getting a bargain. With Tankenstein, people are going to earn XP towards that total no matter what they play. It's just you play the game, your XP is totaled up, and at the end of the 2 weeks you either get the tank or you don't. But the fact that you can then rush the rest by paying the gold says to me that they want people to look at that total XP they've earned and go, well, I've already earned this much, it'd be a shame to waste it, so I better just spend the 4, 5, 6,000 gold or whatever it is to then buy the tank. Just seems like a cheap trick to me, and the tank itself doesn't seem that amazing. I could be wrong, again, I could be wrong. Maybe there'll be some amazing Tankenstein only event or something else special like that that only Tankenstein can do, and people will be laughing at me for not getting it. If you spent a heap of money on that or wasted a lot of hours in game to get it, and I hope that is the case because I've seen a few of these in battle. I've talked to a few people as well who've actually earned it with the XP, and congrats to them. But I've seen a few of these in battle already and I haven't seen any do very well. They make a very good stationary gun platform, but you never see them moving because they're just too slow. They just sit there and fire until they die. In no games I've played they've come out on top, but that might just be the small sample size I've been looking at. My last gripe about Tankenstein and this whole event is that the goals set for it were volume based, not skill based. I think it could have been done a lot better than how it has been done. You do hear me drone on about the comparisons between Blitz and PC form of world tanks quite a bit, and you could be mistaken in thinking that I prefer the PC form of the game, but that's not the case. In many respects I think Blitz is the better game, but that doesn't mean that the PC form of it doesn't do some things better, and their mission system I think was so much better than what we've seen in Blitz so far. A reward tank like Tankenstein should be the end of an unpassable by gold series of skill based, not volume based goals that get gradually harder as they go up. The PC missions, you might have to do spotting damage or block damage or a certain number of kills at a certain tier, yada yada yada. It gets harder and harder as it goes up. It requires you to think about your tank selection, adjust your tactics on each map. There are some downsides in it in that you will see people playing in ways that could be counterproductive to a team's win, but overall I think it's a much better system than what we've got here, where it's just we want you to sit in game for 3 hours per day and play until you get the reward, or just pay us money. I think it doesn't work. It could be done better, wargaming. Anyway, that's enough about Tankenstein, let's move on. Rise of Continents is still going on, although I have not been able to get excited about it at all. Any individual performance is just lost in a sea of results from your own server. It's just hard to see how your performance helps things, really. The best you do is just play your normal game and hope that it adds towards the totals, I guess. There's been a few smaller awards like extra XP for certain wins or performances, which is always welcome. But I mean, the major prize, the gaming headset, awarded to the player who is in game the most and gets the most kills, I think is just not an achievable target to try and set for yourself. If you're desperate for a gaming headset that much, you should just go work an extra Saturday for time and a half. It's a lot better plan. You don't want to be the guy who spends 400 hours in Blitz just to lose by 5 minutes and 1 kill to someone else. So another volume-based competition that I don't think has been implemented as effectively as it could be. It's very hard for an individual to get excited about the results in this. If it was clan-based, I think then yeah, that'd be awesome. You could definitely see how your clan's performance and your own individual performance would contribute to that, but it's not. It's server-based and your results are tallied up with everyone else's. Patch 2.2 brought a number of game changes and rebalances. We got the tier 6 level of crew skills. For 1,000,000 XP, you can now tack on a bit of extra performance to certain crew skill aspects, which will definitely keep people busy for the foreseeable future. I've only managed to get 96% complete on one of these skills so far, my heavy tank crew skill close combat master. Rebalancing, welcome to World of Medium Tanks, as Wargaming continue to nerf underperforming high tier heavy tanks and tank destroyers, and buff already OP high tier medium tanks. The amount of T-54 drivers out there who are buying their wins with full heat ammo loadouts is getting worse and worse, and becoming less and less enjoyable to play anything with decent armor and slow speed. And whilst we're on negatives, shout out to all those who took part in my worst ever losing streak. 8 consecutive games in my new Object 704. This is why you should never play high tier games, or any game really if you can help it, solo. This was a absolutely painful experience, and I hope I never meet any of you in game again. I definitely deleted the game and took a week off after that. That was painful. Onto the stats sites. Blitz.asia has a world rankings page now you can check out. Yours truly was on there very briefly in the top 10 until some much better players jumped on and kicked me out. They've also got 30, 60 and 90 day running averages on all kinds of stats. You can also add that to forum signatures if you're active on the forums. Just by looking at those 30-day stats, you can just tell how many people are playing with an 80% win rate these days. The player base skill level has climbed up massively. Hopefully we'll get a replay system soon, and these kind of people can start sending in their replays, and it'll take the pressure off me. I'm looking forward to that day. What else? WoT has got a video player page too. If you're looking to peruse more Blitz gameplay, head over there. And cellbrock.net, the Asia server stats site, has a clan recruitment page too. If you are looking for a clan, you can check that out. We've got coming up potentially T59s, the Chinese tier 8 premium medium tank. There have been rumors that they've been seen in game. I haven't actually seen one myself, and it's not in the dev build we've received. We've heard that the devs are actually testing this one internally. I'm not too sure why. I think we've had too many content leaks recently. I think in the early days of the community contributor program, there wasn't that many of us, and things were pretty tight on their security. But it's worldwide now, and there's a lot of guys with access to the content before it comes out. And you've probably noticed there's been a lot of leaked images of upcoming stuff, which has got Wargaming a bit nervous. I think they're locking down their security. So Type 59 potentially coming soon, and that probably means it's preceding the Chinese medium branch as well. Absolutely no estimates on time or details on that. I have no info whatsoever, apart from what I've already seen from other people. And I think that's just about it for me for this week. We are still battling with ping issues down here in Australia. This week it did come good. Looked like the repair ship was in place and had affected that repair. Our ping was back up to, or back down to 100 milliseconds. But as of yesterday, it's climbed back up again to about 220, 230, 240. I don't know what the deal is. It's very annoying. Hopefully they get that sorted soon. Testing things with the new iPhone 6s now. Looking for an improvement in the frame rate. And I am getting it at times, but it looks like I'm still getting CPU or GPU throttling. It's going from 60 FPS, which looks amazing when it's running so smoothly, and then jumps down to about 40. So I don't know whether it's recording software on the computer end that's doing that, or it's the phone. I think it's the phone, which means just not gonna get the outcomes I want just yet, I guess. But I still got that RAM coming for the computer, and I don't know, that'll be the final test, I guess. If that doesn't work, then we'll just have to make do. And yes, I am definitely rambling now. It's time to pack this up, wrap it up, and get it out before the video gets any older and the Tankenstein news becomes completely obsolete. In the upcoming weeks, I've got some interesting videos on the way. Centurion gameplay coming very shortly. I was looking through some save games. I've noticed I've got a good episode on Centurion 1, the tier 8 British medium tank. So that'll come very soon. I've got another Wargaming video out within the next week or two, so look forward to that one. That means new content. And of course, regular quick blitz and anything else I can jam in as well will come as per usual. So thanks once again for watching, guys. Good luck in game, and I'll see you all on the next one. Peace.